to your departure, and which for security reasons of the highest importance has been known on board during the mission. Now that you are in Jupiter's space, and the entire crew is revived, it can be told. 18 months ago, the first evidence of intelligent life off the Earth was discovered. It was buried 40 feet below the lunar surface, near the crater Patron. Except for a single, very powerful radio emission aimed at Jupiter, the 4-million-year-old black monolith has remained completely inert. Its origin and purpose still a total mystery.
You're listening to my daddy, All Gorilla MC.
Said to kill the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewiz.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from hunger pain.
Got the time.
Lay Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today all year, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, NERDSoul on Screen. We talk about that live action TV, movies, whatever, all them things, and we're getting into the one and only Star Trek Discovery. Now, I'm not by myself. Right over here, Cinematic Sorcerer, Solar Gray. What's up?
Hey, what is going on, everybody? This is Solar Gray coming at you from the Wizard's Tower. Oh, I'm ready to talk today. I am ready to talk.
Oh, man. Since this is the penultimate episode, you know, things are getting ready to come to a head. I want to start with Zora. Because Zora is like in the background on this episode. I don't want to build up, but I like that even though Tarka has this like, oh, I'll put this thing, it's this master plan, and we'll be, sneaky about it. And Zora's still like, there's something wrong. It's like an itch, like your back is itching, but you can't reach it or something. It's like Zora's like, there's something wrong. I don't know what's going on with me, but I don't feel right. I know what right feels like, and it's not this.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think that honestly, I gotta give it up to the writers on this season. I mean, this show in general, but this season for real, because they really have decided to go all in on emotional intelligence, and they are showing all these different aspects of it. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm really liking that. I'm really liking that whole, I'm sentient, I'm now sapient, I'm the ship, and I don't feel right. Like we literally were microns away from I got a bad feeling about this coming from the ship. You know what I mean? They couldn't say it because it's a different property,
They're
but
like, ooh, wrong property.
wait, I like how you said that. Like, I know what all right is, and it's not this.
Yeah,
And I'm like, okay, all right.
that was good.
Yeah, I really do. I like that. And yeah, I really liked I liked how they answered the question, because we got a kidnapped crew member and nobody's noticing.
Yeah.
But I thought about this and I'm like, she's not in every episode. She's always off kind of doing her own thing, and people got to look for her anyway.
True.
And I'm kind of like, all right. I see what you guys were doing. You set that up. You either set it up for her to be kidnapped.
Jet's doing her thing. She's over there, or she's over there doing whatever. And even Zor was like, hey, shows that she's in the engineering. He's like, all right, well, let me, he was like, all right, let me go get her.
Yeah, and it was like,
and he's like,
wait, she ain't here? And Stamets and old girl was like, we've been looking for her all day. And I'm like, oh.
It's like, we haven't seen her all day, so I don't know what.
But when I saw her, I liked what I saw. Like, just that whole moment between her and I'm gonna call him chapter 5 or volume 5. Because it was just that whole as to see the numbers. You won't be, the numbers are gonna be confusing, but the look on his face won't. It's like, because when you are dealing with somebody who's lying and you ask for a little bit of proof,
they'd be like,
I would, oh, what, you mean you don't trust me? you see what I mean?
Yeah. So, big shout out to Kiki Andre in the house. Mr. Sigler, I'm not trying to mess up your name. So Markalon? I do not want I know I probably screwed that up. But Mr. Sigler, nice to see you. He says, real talk is this has been the strongest season of Discovery. Also, my one complaint is that I feel like the story with the 10C is dragging.
Okay. You want to handle that or should I?
I want us both to talk on that one. Because, we kind of barbershop the episodes. This one,
yeah, that's true.
Sort of. I see where you can feel that way. Because we've dealt more with how we feel about what's happened due to the 10C than actually like dealing with the 10C. Like we've been dealing with like how Book has felt, or what Tarka's doing, or the diplomacy and or you got Ndoye on sneaking around, and so we've been dealing with exploding planets and being scared of exploding planets, and we haven't really seen the actual species or even dealt with them really. It's more been filtered through like how we've been affected by it all. So I can see where you're coming from. Go ahead.
Moving slow, it depends on what it is that you're waiting for. Most hardcore sci-fi, we're talking Asimov, Heinlein, Jules Verne's to a certain degree, Emerson. The thing about science fiction is that science fiction does not equate to action in storytelling. A lot of TV and film has made it like shoehorned in the action, but we're dealing with the speculative fiction. This is sort of like, these few episodes have reminded me of that movie with Amy Adams called Arrival. Okay.
Oh,
the difficulty of the difficulty of first contact, which is, first, how do we talk to each other? Especially when it's first contact with somebody that's been beating you up, you know? Yeah. So it's, and then
like, you find out essentially it's kind of like, it's another kind of time loopy movie, but because that was my only thing. I was like, that's okay. I guess I'll take that as an ending. But but I did enjoy the movie for it.
Yeah, I mean, that one was all about learning to communicate as well. It's like, I grew up in LA, and there's a lot of English second language people here, especially in the part of LA that I grew up in. There were a lot of people that didn't speak English at all. And as part of my detention in the 8th grade, I was forced to be an English second language tutor. So I've been on that level of, I don't speak Spanish. And I'm trying to communicate with this person to convey an idea,
I got a good story, like, okay. But continue. I got a good story.
So it really came down to it. So this process is slow. It's kind of agonizing, but it's great to see people who are good at it. You know,
I do want to get into that in a second.
I really like that. That it's showing. All right, we got everything we want to say. We got everything we need to say, and we got what we know how to say. Ooh, how can we do this? I was,
and I loved how they pulled that off. That scene really showed how people can come together that are the best at what they do and bring their little parts and pieces and build up into an actual functioning plot or plan or movement towards one specific goal. And I think Star Trek shined on that in that moment. Of them kind of figuring out what to say, bringing in people from the bridge, and then seeing they were what seemed to be a dangerous maneuver of them getting pulled into the I don't know, the 10C bubble, whatever it is. I know they named it, but I can't remember. But then to see them present them with hey, this is I know you. This is what you know. Here, take this, and then you can come in here and we can talk. So it was interesting seeing two parties that had no idea how to communicate with each other try to figure out how to talk. Which brings me up to a funny story. So, I'm flying back to the U.S. and the flight got delayed, so we stayed one night in Toronto, and you had to get up super early.
You don't speak French, do you?
No. So we woke up, we slept they got us a hotel. We woke up super early. And when I woke up, I got up what I would consider late to make it down to the shuttle. So I was knocking on the two doors of the people that I kind of sat beside across the hall. And I saw two housekeepers come up. And I was like, hey, are these people still in here? One spoke Spanish, one spoke French. Neither of them spoke English, and I spoke neither of them. So we're literally playing charades of I was like,
exactly.
It was when I thought about it later, it was hilarious because I'm like, are they sleeping in there? And then the lady that knew Spanish, she was like, oh no, and she pointed, and I was like, thank you. But it was a good 2-3 minutes of just charades between me and them, or them and I, and it was looking back, it was hilarious, and it kind of reminded me of this, where it's okay, all right, they're not dangerous. They're apparently not homicidal maniacs. So, and they want to talk to us. Okay, so how do we talk to them? like,
wait, are you talking about the housekeepers or 10C? I'm kidding. No,
it could go either way.
Yeah, but like real talk, when this episode was so well directed. Okay, they made it very clear in the beginning. This season opened up with a problem. Okay, and they made it very clear. This ain't gonna be the action season, y'all. We getting back to our roots. You know, and this whole season has been a puzzle. Okay, it's less like watching Star Wars or Indiana Jones and more like watching an episode of House. You know, where we're like, all right, what's the all right, we're trying to do this. When they put them into that 10C egg that's bigger on the inside, I'm like, oh, I know where they got that from. I know you, Eddie. It really was when they put that thing out there. It's like, it's a weapon. I'm like, yeah, no, y'all ain't never had parents, you know, because they're like, what could they mean by they could mean this, they could mean that. They're like, what's this and why? Nah, you ain't getting out of this room until you tell me what's up. Like, what is this? Whose videotape is this? Where'd you get that? You know, I mean, that's really what it was.
Oh man, you know?
And I'm like, no, they want to know why'd y'all do this. And the way they figured it out, it was like this. Yeah, no, we're scared. Many, you did to us what was done to you, and you did it with this thing. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, dog.
Yeah.
All right.
But before they could get a true sorry,
WTF is a universal expression, not a galactic one.
Yes.
So when that conversation turned, I think we all knew.
Yeah. So go ahead, get started on Book. You know what? I'll say this. Book, man, look, I don't know if I'm talking to Book or the writers right now. I know he has gone through grief. He is still going through grief. I understand. I love hearing the whole part about his name and the lineage of the name. I love that. That is great.
Yeah, he's the Dread Pirate literature, you know? It's
But he has been woefully absent-minded when it comes to Tarka for a long time. Now, I know they tried to explain it with the, like, hey, you know, shared trauma, both of y'all are hurt, and this is why y'all kind of, and even Tarka was like, I've only had 2 people that I've called friends, and you're one of them. Yeah, dude, really? This is how you treat your friends? Whew.
Seriously.
All right, you've gone behind my back and stolen my ship, essentially. We've gone behind people's backs and done people to other ships. Like, all you know is deceit, but we don't know where he really comes from. Maybe that's his culture, where all people do is just like lie to each other and sneak behind each other's backs. Because all Taka has done is lied since we met him. Think about it. Since we met him, he has lied. And even Jet was like, you know he's lying, right? Like, you know, like that. So I am angry because this episode did not start with him punching Tarka, or at least being like, Tarka, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Putting him in cuffs or whatever. But now we know he couldn't anyway, because Tarka done weaponized Book ship against himself. So
yeah. And you know what? The thing is, I saw it coming. You saw it coming. Anyone who loves the evil genius trope saw it coming. You know, it's like, why are you making all these alterations? This is almost like foreshadowing in a story. No, quit messing with my console. You know, I mean, real talk. And this is how I know that Book is morally a better person than I am. I would have spaced him the moment he shot those missiles.
Yeah, I would. At the very least, I would have locked him up.
You know what?
Locked him up, beamed him on.
Being in the void of space is being locked up. He's locked out. You know, he locked out.
I would have literally locked him up, took him into the Discovery, and been like, look, okay, I know you're angry, and I get it, but let me start at the beginning. Just give me a second. And I would have ran through everything that happened and been like, look, Michael, you and I had an understanding. I came back, he shot that thing. this is kind of on me because I got us this far, but this part isn't on me because you and I literally made a decision to not do anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's now it looks, because what it looks like to the 10C is like this. Oh, so is this like a sneak attack? Like, you know, this,
what
you know, they're like, what are you trying to do? Or, well, yeah, it could. Because they might also be smart enough to be like, oh, these are some different people than you. Well, who are these people and why are they, you know, like, so who knows what we'll get next episode, but it's not a good look.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the diplomatic part of me is like, look, every species has jerks, right? Yeah. And I guess a couple like, y'all got fleas? Yeah, they like fleas to us, and they got on. We're sorry, you know, sorry I brought fleas. Now they on your cat. Let's go take care of these fleas.
Like we all got Pookie and Ray Rays. We apologize.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
So
that's our fault. Shouts to Geeky Andre says, I get what they're doing with the communication and the mystery, but I hope we have more action next season. I miss pew pew pow boom. You know what? I kind of do too. Like I do. I don't mind every. Here's why I don't mind it. Because you can't have every Star Trek fan saying, hey, every season is different. And then when this specific, every show is different. And then when this specific show is different, then all of a sudden it's a problem that this one is different. Meanwhile, we've had like 18 other shows. Well, okay, not 18.
Original TNG,
7?
Deep Space Nines,
6.
Hang on, Voyager, Enterprise, Picard, Prodigy.
Oh, so if we're gonna count those two, yeah. So there's 8 other shows.
8 shows.
So yeah, forgot we got to count the new. Because I was thinking of counting the shows only before Discovery came out. Because when Discovery came out, the new stuff didn't exist yet.
Yeah, we have 4 or 5. We have 5.
All right, so
you got 5, TOS, TNG, DS9,
Voyager,
and Enterprise. Yeah.
So yeah, 5 shows. So those were allowed to be different. Why isn't this one? So yes, I don't mind a show because trust me, if Star Trek fans don't like action, I don't know what they're going to do with this Section 31 show, because I assume it's going to be a whole bunch of action. Like Section 31 seems like the Black Ops CIA black bag operation kind of, you know, it seems like that's what it's going to be. So if
Mr.
you don't
Sigler,
like action,
we also left out the comics and the novels and the audiobooks as well, but we're talking mainstream.
Yeah, we're not even talking about the comics. So
he said we left out the original series animated series.
Oh yeah. So 6.
But there are only 6 episodes, and that really didn't make a big splash past 1974.
Okay. Yeah. So
it wasn't a household name.
Yeah. There were only 6 episodes. I get you, but I don't know. Can we count that 6? Well, I mean, I guess you count it like a limited series. So we'll give
we
you.
Count it for the core fans. We can count it for the core fans of the moving picture media. But yeah,
that ain't got nothing on Lower Decks.
You know, but yeah, like this episode, like we've seen a couple of attempts at first contact. Okay,
yeah.
But one thing that we've always seen with every single show except Deep Space Nine that did first contact with a species, it was never too hard, and it always worked out well.
It always worked out.
Yeah, it really did. It always worked out well. Even when we made first contact with ourselves, you know, in first contact, you know, I mean, when we made first contact with V'ger in the motion picture, which this season very much reminds me of, you know, when we made first contact with the God species in Star Trek V, that didn't exactly work out well, but that was one time. But every other time we've made first contact, let me think, when did it go bad? V'ger was hard. God species in Star Trek V went really bad because why?
Would you consider the entrance of the Borg a first contact? Or no?
Yes, that was the one I was working up to when it came to this went bad.
Oh yeah. Hey, it's a big old square floating in the sky. Like, what's up?
Yeah, and first contact with whoever it was from Voyager XL 134.593A or whatever they were called. Just string a bunch of numbers and letters and put a dash or a point in there, and that's who they are.
Whoever, the XL species.
Yeah, exactly. But that's it. Of most of the first contacts that we see, it's we're the Federation. We're here to help. Here's all the stuff. We don't use money. La 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 la.
And they're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, and this season has been we're the Federation. We don't use money, and they're like,
Like, we don't trust y'all no more.
So, yeah, last time somebody said we're here to help, things went real bad.
I.e. Emerald Chain.
Yeah, so
Geeky Andre says Tarka really reminds me of a non-hero Tony Stark.
Yeah, like a Lex Luthor, one would say. Or Victor Von Doom, one would say.
You know what? I won't even give him Lex Luthor because at least Lex Luthor to a certain degree is charming. Like Lex is charming, Ooh. Tony is charming. Tarka, there is no charm there. Tarka's one of those butt people that it's a family show, y'all.
Yeah.
one of those butt people that instead of being charming, they have to prove that they're the smartest in the room all the time.
Yeah.
And that won't allow them to actually ingratiate themselves to anyone.
Yeah, he reminds me very much of Jesse Eisenberg in Now You See Me. Really smart, really arrogant. Not quite Lex Luthor, because you're right, Lex is kind of charming.
He didn't become president for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Well, he really became president because Superman told Batman to back off. But let's back up from the early 2000s comics. But yeah, so
which was good. Those that first couple of runs, like the Superman Batman comic, the first
honestly
around 12 to 18 issues was good.
Yeah, DC was killing it from 96 to 2003.
Yeah,
and then they started prepping for 52.
Oh yeah, but the Superman Batman books were good. Like the first 12 or so issues.
Honestly, the Superman runs from Jill Kelly and Joe Casey were amazing. It had the best Batman Superman team up that I'd ever seen. I was literally in tears at the end of it when it went into why how they handle a case, like how they look at things. Like Superman keeps the person in mind and who they're like, and that keeps him motivated, where Batman distances himself because if he gets attached and they end up dead, he's gonna crumble. And I'm just like, this is great, especially since they were looking for Lois. So it's a great issue, written by a cop's kid. So that's one of the things. But we're not here to talk about Superman. Yes. we're here to talk about
Ndoye.
Okay. I think Ndoye is gonna come in clutch. I think Ndoye is gonna be the real hero.
I'm folding my arms on her.
I'm not. Gotta understand, every person has a particular filter. Okay, the way that they're taught to look at everything. Like President Fraulein, President Fraulein.
My dad was
just hit me. She's part Kardashian. Kardashian. She's got the spoonhead thing going, so she's at least a quarter. She is looking at stuff. She's looking at stuff through diplomatic means. How can we make the empire grow? Mike is looking at everything through the lens of how can we be most beneficial to everyone and protect everyone. She's trying to save everyone. Book is coming from the standpoint of never again. Never again. And Ndoye is a military general who has been at war with the Emerald Chain for her entire career. So everything that she looks at,
because she doesn't really know how to not be at war, because like the Emerald Chain was just defeated like last year.
Yeah.
Or I guess TV time, maybe a year and a half or something, but just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
And there's still remnants of the chain trying to, reestablish itself.
Yeah. So
I would be surprised if every government doesn't have like a little, like a small team that their whole job is, look, go mop up anything that looks like the Emerald Chain.
Every government,
they're finally on their last leg, and we ain't even trying to see them no more.
Every government does, except for Navarre. And actually, I don't even know if Navarre does, because they still got the Romulans, and that's the Romulans' whole jam. But I know, I know Earth has it with Ndoye and Section 13. So that covers the Federation. We still don't know what the Klingons are doing, and I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And yeah, there are a whole bunch of other planets that haven't joined the Federation that are on the front lines of that fight too.
And Geeky Andre says Ndoye looks mad. She just looks like she wants to nuke everything.
She does.
But my thing about her is her not giving. Okay, so the episode opens up. We got 12 hours. All right. Now I know people are going to say like, well, 12 hours is not a long time. Actually, 12 hours is enough time to give these people a chance to talk to somebody. Like, she's treating 12 hours like it's 12 minutes, man. Like
that's very much the military thing. Keep in mind, when you're dealing with something like Starfleet space stuff, you're not dealing in army time. You're dealing in naval time. And it's like, all right, we got 12 hours. It's going to take us 10 hours to get back, because space is very big. But it's so big that no name suits its nature or its size, but its own. It's called space.
Right. But can't they get I don't know. It just seems like, yo, if you weren't going to give them a chance in the first place, why'd you even come? And
she came because she got stuck, remember?
Oh, snap, she did get stuck. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
so now the whole thing is like, she's like, all right, I'm gonna give y'all these contacts on the low. I'm gonna come out and sneak, give y'all information. Then all of a sudden she's like, I didn't sign up for this. Look, you should know, you are not a dumb woman at all.
Yeah, you ain't
super duper smart. You know that whatever you sign up for, especially with this guy Tarka and what they've been doing, it's going to end up being different than what you thought it was going to be. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It's not going to be
real facts.
No, come on, man. Like, you're not kidding me.
It's like you think books signed up for this?
I thought it was going to be different. No, come on, man.
Yeah. And then it was like, I just did this. I turned all that stuff down. And honestly, I really look at that as a foreshadowing trope. Seriously. Because this is why I think she's going to come in clutch. I really do. Because right after she did that is when all communication broke down, because 10C was like, what? What you just do?
Because they were like, what is that? What are y'all doing? And then of course on the ship, they're like, hey, what's going on?
What just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. And
Mr. Siegler said, I need Zora to do a better job of keeping track of Ndoye. Look, you know what? Good point. Because Ndoye is like this. All right, y'all, I'm here. I want y'all. Like, Zora didn't hear that? Like, Zora like, hey, yo, Ndoye. She'd be like, huh? Yes? Be like, why you by yourself?
All right.
Why you by yourself right now?
I think about this, and this is one of the things I learned from all these years of running role-playing games. Okay. Just because you can doesn't mean that you do. Zoya can know everything on the ship, but she hasn't developed as a sentient species enough to always be looking. That's the big thing. Okay. All right. Because again, nobody on that ship is a prisoner. So it's like, oh, Ndoye is walking down a hallway. Yeah, whatever. You know, not, Ndoye, the general's walking down a hallway. I had better record everything she says because I don't trust anyone on this ship. No. That's not the way it works. True.
Okay, I'll give you that because Zora we are looking at a sentient species that's kind of, sort of like, maybe not a child, but definitely younger and more optimistic and more trusting. So
I look at her like a college student. So like she just got her degree. Yeah.
Yeah. So someone who's like, oh, well, everyone on this ship has been, cleared. So there's no need for me to kind of like look at them in suspicion because none of these people are like, prisoners, so maybe I'll give her that. No. Plus also she's trying to figure out what's going on with her body or I guess her.
No, you had it right.
Whatever it is.
Something's going on. I don't feel right.
Yeah, so, she is, kind of preoccupied with trying to find out what's wrong with her. So I'll let that slide. Siegler says, how does Ndoye have access to so many discovery systems? I think, didn't Tarka tell her what to do? Or
Tarka essentially hacked the system and gave her the master command code.
Okay.
So
So Ndoye ain't that dope. Like she don't know the computer stuff like that. She ain't got the schematics, but Tarka gave it to her, so it's all good. Well, It's all bad, but it's all good. So
it's real easy to, Tarka gave her the cheat code. That was the whole thing. That's why it didn't take so long.
He hit her with the game genie, and now
she's able to
she's able to do whatever she wants.
So, but yeah, seriously, it's it really is this episode was really, really tight from a writing point of view. I love the three teams as it stood. Okay, the three teams are really good. I really loved Reno. I really did. I really loved
Reno. Came through. Definitely.
Reno showed why Reno has so much freedom on Discovery. Because you can leave Reno alone. Just leave Reno alone. Reno gets it done.
Yeah.
Might not get it done in the way that someone else would, like Reno and Stamets are like, Stamets like, I'm gonna blah, blah, blah. Well, Reno picks up a guitar, eats some candy, and then comes in with the answer.
Not eat some candy. Well, I will say this though. I like how she got a hold of the book for a second. Was like, he's crazy, right? Like, I'm not gonna try to break out. I'm gonna sit here in my cell, whatever. But just letting you know, it's going down crush.
You've been blinded to the truth, son.
You're blind, baby. Blind to the fact.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say this. Yeah, ask your boy for a little proof and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Shouts out to RJ Nerdy Brew. Nerdy Brew is in the house. Said, great episode. I hated the general was drinking so much haterade.
Right?
Oh, man.
But again, that's the filter. The general is, that general is very, I think we should nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. This reminded me of, this literally reminded me of The Rock with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery. I know, but hear me out.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Ndoye would have been cool with Sean Connery's crew or with the military crew, with the, you ain't tough. You ain't this, you ain't that, you ain't this. And as soon as Nicolas Cage had all those viruses, he's like, drop one of these and we're all dead. Respect this or it will kill you. It's like, now we're in my world and you were not comfortable here. And Ndoye is on a science vessel with a science crew on a diplomatic mission doing stuff scientifically. She, much like the audience, is waiting for pew, pew, pow, pow, boom. And she's like, I don't know what to do with myself if it ain't no pew pew, pow pow, boom. I'm just can we hit something, please?
I just want to kill something.
Why are we talking? Why are we doing all this talking?
It's like
what
is this math and perfume? I don't want to hear that. I want to kill things. It's like, look, Ndoye, we're trying to, and shouts out to the new brother with the tight box. New brother came through, dropped knowledge on us. You know what I'm saying? I don't know his name yet, but new brother came through. Oh, Christopher?
He's Ensign Christopher.
So I'm like, Ensign Christopher Wallace came through. Shouts out, had a box. He was just trying to make some money to feed his daughter. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's all good, baby. But anyway.
I was kind of going, really, Ensign Chris. So these writers are just giving everybody first names as last names now. Just how do we remember? We had Bryce over there. All right, yeah, now we got Christopher. And I'm like,
I mean, his name could be like, I don't know, Andrew Christopher? I don't know. Yeah, so with two first names, but look, he came through when it was necessary. Yeah. He got a tight box. I got no problems with him. You know I guess it must be easy to get a fresh cut when you're on the Star Trek Discovery, because you know what I'm saying, you can just go to the holodeck, which is like the best barber in town, and then you know what I'm saying, just fade you up, you know what I'm saying? And,
Zora is the best barber in town.
Does
Zora make sure they get all the lines straight? Make sure the box in there. I
got a question. Does Wall and Andis still exist, or have they gone out of business? Do we need new clipper manufacturers? Who's making I just want to know, like, who's making the electronic shavers and stuff and the clippers?
The Wall got bought out by one of the major conglomerates in the 22nd century.
Oh, okay.
And then Starfleet came up with lasers. So they ended up, and they went to all of the prisons. Yeah, they went to all the prisons and started training up all the nonviolent inmates to use the lasers, and then they put them on all the starships. See, that's what happened.
Yeah, because imagine, like, them little, like, the doctor things where they scan you. Just imagine, like, scanning your head, and then all of a sudden, like, and everything's cool. It's like a perfect cut.
Not just scanning the head. They're doing, like, 3D designs. Like, when you're on a video game and you're picking out your character, and it'd be like, I'll take number 41C.
It's like going in the shop, and you'd be like, yo, let me get a number 9.
Yeah, exactly.
And a number 3 in the back.
Exactly. See, that's how that happened.
Yo, it's perfect. This is exactly how.
Why do you think Captain Burnham and I can't remember her name. Owo. Michael and Owo. Yeah. Why do you think this stuff is always so tight? Always.
They go up I'm shop.
Does Michael Burnham's hair not grow? What's up with that?
They go up in the shop. They be like, "Girl, let me get a number 5." They be like, "All right."
And I gotta say, man, Owo has her hair on lock. Lock every episode. I'm like, "Oh, you go, girl."
Well, I mean, when you got the holodeck, it's all all you gotta do is go to your favorite shop. They hook you up real quick.
Yeah,
and, it's like I don't know, hyper braiding. So you ain't got. For all the kids that had to follow their mom to the shop and had to sit in the shop for all Saturday, guess what? Now there's hyper braiding. That whole head braided in like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, you're done.
You say the guys who had to follow mom to the shop. My mom had the shop. I was that kid. I was the kid in the shop with the broom. All right, mama.
Man,
I hate having to sweep up all this Jerry curl hair. It's always sticking to the floor.
Oh man! Shouts to the kids that swept the shop. Barbara give them like a 5 or something. You know what I'm saying? Shouts to the man that would come through with fish dinners. Shouts to the bootleg man that come through with some CDs. There's certain things you can't get on the holodeck. You know what I'm saying? It's culture right there.
Well, thank you very much.
Nerdy Brew says, I said to my daughter, I wish she kept her hair together like Michael. Gotta remember she's 9.
Yeah, seriously, bruh. Seriously. Why don't you be like a Starfleet captain? What's wrong with you?
That hair gonna be toe up tomorrow. She about to go run and play. It's gonna be in like, I don't know, the sandbox or something. You'll be like, yo, what did you do to your hair? What? Hold up. Isn't that shirt supposed to be green? Like it's like everything's look. when kids, there's like a certain level, like just wait until they're like, I don't know, 11 or 12 to even try to like do
I say
like anything intricate.
There just comes a point where it's like, wasn't that all right? Hold up, real dad checklist. This one belongs to me. Yeah, this one belongs to me, and they ain't bleeding. Moving on. That's it. After a little bit, it's just like, no, okay, your job as a 6-year-old, I'm gonna dress you tight, and you go baby all of your shoes, take care of all your clothes. Like the most you can do is look at your kid when they get home from school or church and be like, go put on your play clothes. That's it. That's the best you can do.
If your parents have ever told you to put on play clothes, you was raised right. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. I mean, that's all you can do. That is it. Because everything else, like you put them in their Sunday suit and you send them off to Sunday school, you know they're gonna be playing at church. You know they're gonna spill something. Let it go.
They're gonna be playing at church, and everybody gonna get in trouble. Look, from personal experience, getting in trouble for playing basketball in his dress shoes. Yeah, your kid probably gonna be playing. Like just accept that, you know, the kids can't help themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a basketball court there. Even if it's a half court, if there's a ball around, someone's going to challenge somebody. Next thing you know,
say basketball. If there's another kid, if there's another kid around, somebody getting chased. They might get chased because of the ball. They might be getting chased because of hide and seek. They might be getting chased because somebody pretends to be a monster. It don't matter. Those kids gonna be running. That's what they're gonna do. That's why if I had a son, I'd just be like leather bottom shoes. You know, you shouldn't be running around here. Stop crying. How'd that work out for you?
So with that said, Mr. Cinematic Sorcerer, could you hit me with your, how should you say, final thoughts? Final thoughts on this episode, where you want to see it going.
Real talk. Yeah. Real talk. My final thoughts on this episode is this is the best episode of Discovery so far, in my opinion. I am dead serious. This has been my favorite episode because this is showing the intricacies of Starfleet that we've always mythologized. We're looking at the discovery of a new place. We're looking at making first contact. We are looking at, we've gone so far beyond the tech that we're used to in science fiction and science fantasy that we're back to basics. And when I say that, the whole essence of this is we don't know where we are. We're outgunned. We don't know who to talk, and we don't know how to talk to people, and we're scared. Now, what we gonna do? Do we do what normally gets done, or do we behave better than that? And that's what Star Trek always was, all the way back from 1965. You know, so we're back to basics, and this show didn't just show that we're back to basics, but it showed how hard the job is. You know, TNG kind of touched on that, but they didn't really show us. Like, this is a difficult job, and these people are some of the best at it. So we're looking at this, and this is really, I'm loving it because like this particular episode, it was impossible to do self-insertion. This episode was, look at this. You know, this is what it means to be a translator. I mean, we got the linguist over here that understands how language works. And then we got Saru over here who knows 111 languages. And those two are bouncing ideas off each other. But at the end of the day, they're just ideas. Neither one of them know.
Yeah.
Like nobody knows anything.
You didn't see there wasn't any fighting or arguing. Everybody came to build. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, that's something that I love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is amazing. And I don't necessarily need the pew pew pow pow. Okay. I get that from every other sci-fi thing out there. Star Wars, Farscape. I even get it from Doctor Who more than I want it. But But when it comes down to it, it's like this episode was, things don't always go smooth. There will be a complication. This is not going to be smooth. It is very much a but and therefore type of thing. So they're solving puzzles. And now they have another puzzle, which is, how do we communicate to this that yes, they with us, but they don't speak for us? And maybe if they see us smacking what's his name around and throwing him out of the airlock like we should have done in episode 5 of the season, then maybe they'll be like, you know what, that's barbaric, but I'm kind of with it. Okay, we'll join the Starfleet thing. Or at least we'll stop blowing up their planets, you know.
Hopefully.
So yeah, it really is like, this is literally the best episode of Discovery I have seen so far. And there have been good ones. There have been good ones, but none of them elicited so much of an emotional reaction from me. Like, I literally, like, for the people that know me in real life and some of you guys that watch me on twitch.com/BID_P at 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, y'all know I'm not the type of dude that sees something and does the normal urban thing of getting up and walking away. You know, because I'm like, oh man, they into it, and then they blasted a hole and left, and I'm like, you know, I'm just like, oh no, he didn't. No. You know, I didn't do that. I didn't do that this time. I mean, I almost did it. I was very tempted. You were close. I'm just like, oh no. You know, I'm Mr. All right, let's see where this goes. But yeah, so that is, again, this was the best episode I've seen. It could go one of two ways, which is show Tennessee that what's his name? I'm so mad at him, I can't even remember his name. Tarka? Needs a spank. Yeah, Tarka gets a spanking or gets turned over to Tennessee. Like, that's what Geeky Andre just said. Yeah, just here you go. Just boom. Nah, he's your problem. Do with him what you want. Oh, wait, you're a giant species that lives on a gas giant. Just send him outside. You know, just one of the two. I'm with that. Or these are the new antagonists for the show. Okay, one of the two, and I'm not totally against that. In the sense
antagonists based on a misunderstanding. That could be interesting.
That's how these things start, right? You know, it's kind of one of those. You came over here, we were talking, and then you punched through our membrane, did something that was after you blew up some of our stuff. Why should we trust you? Nah, you know. Yeah. And if they're the new antagonists for season 5, I think it would be, that would be fascinating, because it throws us into the intricacies of diplomacy with the outgunned nature that we saw in DS9 with the Dominion War. You know, so I think that so it could go either way. And I'm all right with either one. I'm really all right with either one. I'm so emotionally connected to this that I want a happy ending, but I'm such a sci-fi fan that I'll be good if it's not one. I'll be good if it's not a happy ending, and we get more with 10C, because if we get a happy ending, it's like Starfleet wins. Unless Starfleet teams up with 10C to figure out what happened to its planet and to stop that antagonist. You see what I mean?
Okay.
So
to kind of show that, to kind of prove that they're cool and everything.
Well, yeah, it takes us from the Borg was the bad guy in TNG. The Dominion came in with the outgunned out stuff and all that stuff in DS9. But Voyager took the Borg and showed us what the Borg were afraid of, so that we did the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of thing. So yeah, it could go any of these places. There's a lot of possible.
What are the Borg afraid of? What, like emotions or something?
Species X19494-5 be Theta, you know, those guys, you know.
Oh man, so yeah, Geeky Andre said, what if there's some 10C that want peace and some that want?
I hope so.
That could be.
I really hope they are.
That could be an interesting change of pace on this.
Well, Star Trek has been moving away from these monolith cultures, you know,
where like everybody is one way kind of thing. I wouldn't be mad at that. As far as me, and where can people find you?
At well, you can find me Monday through Friday. See, RJ is not here, so I don't have to do the smooth segue. But I did. See, I put that in there. So no. You can find me at twitch.tv/BID_P Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm thinking about going on later, but I don't know. There's a lot of competition on that. I'm trying to reach out to geeks from disenfranchised sectors of the world, people of color, women, LGBTQ+, the differently able, the neurodivergent. And we talk about we talk about nerd stuff. We talk about them funny books, that science fiction, them dungeons, and them dragons. We talk about 3D printing and how the love of our hobbies and the things that we got to do with our hobbies are also things that if we apply to our real life, we could get the life that we want instead of the life that we have.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Not bad. I see you. I see you. So, guys, the link is in the chat and also down below. Check him out. Go on and hit that like, subscribe, share, follow, all that jazz. Final thoughts over here. I like what we got this episode. I thought this episode was really good, except that book is still upsetting me. I would love to see them turn over Tarka, but I feel like Tarka is one of those characters that seem to just get out of every situation somehow. And I feel like he's going to...
I think the term you're looking for is slippery.
Yeah.
Part of being
very
slimy.
Slimy, yeah. I would like to see him die before this season is over, but I don't know if we're going to get that. Or at least them turn him over and 10C, have your way with him. But he's been such a source of just annoyance this season that I'm ready for him to go. I do think this is something that can be repaired, hopefully, but I think that what we're going to end up with a great season where we meet a new species, where by the end of the season, I think the species is going to be like, look, cool, I don't know what you got going on, but y'all got to leave here. We'll take the DMA away, fine, but don't y'all come here no more. I think that might be where we end up, maybe.
If 10C looks at Starfleet like, man, I want to like you and I want to hang with you, but you kind of got to get some of your things together.
Yeah. So we'll take away the DMA. We'll take that away because we didn't, apologies. We didn't know, but don't come back over here. Keep y'all crazy over there.
Yeah.
So with that said, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places, TikTok too, videos everywhere, audio, all that jazz. Hit the thumbs up if you like what you've seen. Subscribe, share, Patreon, support, Cash App. But you know what? Even if you don't have a dime in your pocket, you can open up your phone right now. Go to all your contacts, all right? Share this video. Well, maybe not all your contacts, but someone who likes Star Trek besides you. You know what I'm saying? And you know, next month. Come on. Oh, sorry. Month after next. When May come through, we're gonna be talking about your boy.
Yeah,
we're gonna be talking about your boy Obi-Wan. Come on now.
Real talk. If you are on a group on Facebook or Twitter, just share the video there.
Yeah, just
share the video to the group. That's it. Be like, hey, people who like Star Trek, I mean, seriously.
So we're gonna leave y'all with some dope black comics. As far as black comics that I am into now, Vigilance issue like 4 or whatever has a Kickstarter. I'm gonna go support it. But for Freestyle Comics, you got Bitterroot, Tuskegee Airs, you got Crescent City Monsters out, got Pac Sampson. Shouts out to Pac Sampson. Shouts out to Rashad Doucette and 133 Art. They got One Nation. There's a whole bunch of dope black comic books that you guys can check out, created by black people. Fubu Comics, all right? No, we're not Fubu Comics. That would be an interesting company. But no, this for us, by us. Check some of those books out. They're super dope. And I'm going to leave y'all some interesting imagery and dope beats for those black comics. Until next time, from us to you, and maybe some Guilty Gear streaming or something like that. But it's been mad glitchy. Until next time, peace. We out.
Finish him off! If you can't do it, then maybe you should let someone who can, like me,